Today we're going to be updating the World Touring Car 600 or Tokyo 600 tutorial for the 1.31 tire wear update. You'll notice right away that I've changed the traction control to 5 and I actually put the fuel map on 6, and that has nothing to do with the fuel usage on this car. We're using the Honda Beat here with the K-swap motor. It's the K20 out of the Honda Civic Type R. Now I changed the fuel map and the traction control, not for fuel or anything like that, but to try to maintain the tires on the back end of this car. This car burns through tires and you'll get like a lap and a half out of it, but you're going for 2 laps here, so any kind of stability you can get out of the car is a benefit. What I tend to do here is try to find myself in a pocket between cars that aren't going to overtake each other in terms of AI, and then I'm not trying to overtake either. I'm just trying to commute. I just get behind a car and try to keep the space between the car in front of me stable enough to where I'm not going to rear end it, and I'm watching in that mirror as well to make sure they don't come up and hit me. I have had a couple instances where I've been rear-ended and it didn't affect the clean race bonus, but I'm not comfortable with that. One of the cars that I pay special attention to is the Porsche 911. That car, if you run this track enough, you'll notice that it runs a different braking characteristic than the rest of the cars. He goes a lot deeper into the corners. He's deeper than the rest of the AI, and he's deeper than what I'm comfortable with. So I give him plenty of room, and I really don't pass it until I'm ready. Coming up on the right of the Subaru 22B, you're going to see some orange markers. That's my drop dead zone. So once I pass that, like we did just now, I'm not passing cars even on a dry track. The AI will have a tendency to dive bomb into this corner, so I'm going for a clean race. I'm not trying to get the best lap time. I'm not trying to get, a record-setting overall time. I want my clean race bonus on top of my 550 to make sure I'm getting 825,000. Now here you'll start passing people on the straights. You got a nice open track. It even dries out in the tunnel. And we're going to go ahead and jump to lap 3 where we're coming off of a pit stop. So you'll see here we've actually dropped to position 9, and now all I'm doing is staying within the lane, the acceleration lane, and I am making sure that I'm not getting hit here. I am not in any position to worry about my position on the race at this point. We're just getting from the wet track to the dry track. That's my only concern. I even start braking here to let the Alfa Romeo by, because he's pushing a lot harder than the rest, so I don't want to get between the Alfa and the Aston Martin, so I'm giving them plenty of space, letting them pass. And I was quicker than the Toyota Supra, so I went ahead and let him stay behind me, and now I'm just completing laps again. Now as we progress, you'll see that I'm staying right behind the Alfa. I'm not trying to pass, and if you kind of pay attention to that rear view mirror, the Supra's getting further and further behind. Let's go ahead and skip to lap 5. On lap 4 here, we're finally getting rid of the intermediate wets and putting on racing hard tires, and I usually give it 1/10 more than the fuel it's requesting, just to give myself some wiggle room. And at this point I can run the fuel map all the way to lean, and on the Honda Beat I can drop the traction control down to 2. I don't go down to 1, which is what I normally run, but on the Beat it's a very twitchy car, so I give it that a little bit of extra traction control. Now here again, even though we're on lap 5 and we're on the slicks now, all I'm trying to do is keep pace with the car in front of me. Getting into a wet patch, I'll show you here with a cappuccino, and the back end just kicked out, slid sideways, went through the pylons, and I ended up getting rear-ended by the Porsche here. Actually hit me in the front. Somehow I actually still got the clean race bonus, but it's not something I was really comfortable doing. So you want to just keep pace with the car in front of you on lap 5 and wait until you get to that final stretch before you start trying to pass. Skipping ahead to the hairpin, I just want to point out it's not even about hitting those cones. If you go over that racing line, you're going to lose that clean race bonus. So don't push on it in that final hairpin. You got plenty of other opportunities, and that's a place to keep it as clean as possible. Here's a quick shot of me passing after my drop dead spot, and what I ended up doing here is letting the cars come back around me just to make sure that they weren't going to rear end me. They come at you pretty hard, and I'll show you the in-car view as well real quick, because that way you can kind of see, like if you're watching that rear view mirror, it gives you a good opportunity to avoid an impact when they're coming up behind you. So we're down here in 13th place in lap 6, which can be a little intimidating, and a lot of new players will back out. But coming up here to lap 7, we're in 6th place, and when we pass the pits, all the way back into 1st. And that's it for the race. All we need to do now is just make sure that we don't hit any kind of lap traffic, and we're going to end up with that clean race bonus. So here we are at the last lap with the lap Jaguar on our tail, and it's a no drama, clean race bonus, no wall riding, and it's a 26-minute race. So please enjoy and earn that money. Thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. One final note is the rotary swapped cappuccino is the far better choice when trying to do this method, but you may not have the 1.3 swap available because it comes through roulette. So the Honda Beat works just fine. With the cappuccino, you don't need to worry about the traction control settings or the fuel map unless you want to try for a no fuel pit situation. But you're pitting for tires anyway, so I don't normally concern myself with that. I'll have the setups here as well just at the end, so that way you can copy them down, and please enjoy. Thank you.